Hello everyone, I just want to take a second to explain the Demonstrating Reading Strategies assignment. It is very vague and it unfortunately is vague for a reason, so bear with me. I have papers here, there, and there that I'm going to be looking at while I'm explaining this task to you, but the first one is the curriculum then itself. So is as part of the ACE program, to get the ACE English credit, I have to see that you have selected and used a variety of effective reading strategies. The problem is some of these things, especially now that we're in this remote environment, I won't be able to actually see. If we were in class, I could walk around and I could, say, how are things going? What have you tried? And have conversations with you about it. So what I'm asking you to do in this case is to basically spell it out for me. So if we go through those, the different units, you're going to find things like planning out your reading, managing your reading time, setting up a purpose. And so the setting up a purpose one is, to me, really important because if it's not information that I'm going to be using a lot of, then I'm just going to stick with the skimming of the text, right? So if I go back to when I had to go when I did my master's, this would be like a week's worth of reading, and there's no way that I can close read all of this. So what I would do is I would basically do a quick skim through it and see, is there anything here that I think is going to be very relevant to what I'm doing. Other things that they talk about is identifying the main points. That's very important when you're going through. You want to make sure that you don't miss any of the big ideas. We have monitoring your reading comprehension. So as you're going through something, ways that we do that is we ask questions. We say, okay, well, what is this? And if you notice that there's something that you're stumbling on, you're going to want to stop and maybe read it out loud. Maybe you're an auditory learner and that would help you. Or perhaps you'll look into a different resource. Maybe there's a term you're not aware of. So there's lots of different things that we do, but once again, I can't see you. We're not in the classroom, so you really have to kind of spell it out for me. And it doesn't have to be ridiculously neat either. So, here's another one. I don't know how much of it you can see. It's pretty terrible, but I mean, like I've got stars, I've got squibbles, the odd term here and there. And at the bottom, I even ask questions like, what does it look like? And then I'll try to figure out later on where the answer to my question is, or can I actually explain this? Eliminating distractions. That's a good one. I like to make sure that when I'm doing a reading that I need to understand, that I find a spot. I make sure I have my water, so I'm not going to get up every 5 minutes and be distracted. I'll have a snack with me, and I'll make sure that I do these things to eliminate distractions. So in this task, you need to discuss some of the things that you have done. So you can do this in a few ways. One, you can meet with me on Teams and you can just say, this is kind of what I did. This is the area I set up. Or you can write it out in point form. You can just say, eliminate distractions by ding, 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 and just point form what you did to be able to do that. So we also have keeping paper near to keep notes on, 2-column method. So that's the 2-column method is something that a lot of people really enjoy, but honestly, I've never really been fond of it. Doesn't mean it's a bad strategy, it just means it's one that I didn't use. So I would not include that in my activity that I'm submitting. We also had memorization tips using associations, taking notes on the page. Again, you're going to find that one a lot because that has had a lot of studies that said that that's a good thing. Impress, associate, repeat associations is a very powerful tool that we use. If you can teach it to somebody else, if there's somebody who's willing to listen, being able to put that in your own words is going to really solidify your learning, and it's a very good reading strategy. And becoming familiar with the topic first, reading things out loud, those kind of things. So you can see them all in the lesson. You don't have to listen to this or pause this video over and over again. But I do want you to understand that it's vague because not everybody's going to use the same reading strategies. Not everybody's even going to use the same text. So I said read a textbook chapter. I didn't say which one you had to read. So somebody might want to do whole numbers. Maybe they're going to do math and they think, well, I may as well learn about whole numbers and get this demonstrating reading activity done. Or you might be in self-management and we can use something in both of those. So that's why I'm saying, you can pick any kind of chapter that you want, whatever purpose is meaningful to you, whatever chapter is meaningful to you. And I'm going to try to keep a running list of texts that I had approved already. So then that way, if you don't want to wait to have a discussion with me on which chapter you would like to read, that you can just go to that previously approved list and kind of work your way through that. So I hope that answers any questions. Like I said, it is going to look different. If you actually take notes and you're highlighting things like this, just snap a picture of it and include that in your in your submission. If it's things like eliminate distractions, just write me a little bullet list. This is what I did to make sure that these are the reading strategies that I used. Okay? If you have any questions, please reach out to me, and I'll talk to you soon.